Control of Congress up for grabs, of course, this November, and the midterm elections could bring real change to the Senate, where the Democrats are now in the majority, but some new stats show it could be tough for them to hang on to control there. And the president, of course, has a lot to do with it. So some vulnerable Dems, like Alaska's Mark Begich, now working to distance themselves from the president. Ahead of a meeting he had yesterday with him, Begich said, quote, "I want him up in Alaska so I can show him where his policies haven't worked. I'll drag him up there to show him what he needs to be doing. I don't need him campaigning for me." Ouch. Tony Saig is a Fox News contributor. Bernard Whitman is a former pollster for President Clinton and Democratic strategist. All right, now, Bernard, don't tell me that all the Democrats are getting along right now and everything's fun and games. Because if there was any kind of a fly on the wall in that meeting yesterday, they were hearing more than that statement that went public.
No, absolutely, and I give Mark Begich great credit. That's exactly what he should do. You know, all politics is local. The most important thing for President Obama is that the Democrats hold the Senate, and in fact, they will. There is a 6-year curse. Typically, the president's party loses disastrously in the midterms, particularly in the second administration. What I think is going to happen this year is going to be what we saw in 2012. It's going to be a stasis election. The House will remain in Republicans' hands with maybe marginal gains, and the Senate will remain in Democrats' hands, albeit with a smaller majority. I just don't see major change.
A stasis election. He's using big-time political words here now.
I got to get that thesaurus out.
So Tony, do you agree that there are only 3 seats that might go to Republicans, which keep Democrats in control?
The Republicans need a net gain of 6 seats, Gretchen. There are 7 states in which Democrats currently have control in the Senate. Of those 7 states, Mitt Romney won them overwhelmingly, as did John McCain. And in these states, the combined total of the president's approval in the latest Gallup was 36%. The president's popularity is going to be the ruination of the Democrat-controlled Senate. And we've not just seen it with Mark Begich. You had Miss Hagan, Senator Hagan from North Carolina,
she didn't want to be
less than 2 weeks ago say she didn't want to show up when the president was in North Carolina.
Let me show the vulnerable Democrats, who, by the way, have, for the majority, voted with the president. Look at that. You have Jeanne Shaheen, 99%, and then Mark, who we were just talking about, 97%. Mary Landrieu down in Louisiana, 97%, and so forth. So Bernard, how do you get away, if you're a Dem, in a so-called red state, how do you get away from Obamacare and the president himself?
I think Mark Pryor's in trouble. I think South Dakota's going to go. I think West Virginia's going to go. I think Montana's going to go. I think we may pick up a McConnell seat in Kentucky, but I tell you, 3 people who are going to be safe are those 3 women you showed there. Jeanne Shaheen, Mary Landrieu, and Kay Hagan, enormously popular in their states. They've been distancing themselves from the president, and all politics is local. Obama's not a free election.
How do they distance themselves from the vote? Every single Democrat voted for Obamacare.
Well, not only that, it's not just these red states where, look, you have 7 in which we have easy targets. We just need 6 of those. But now even Jeanne Shaheen in New Hampshire, where Obamacare is failing. This is a Democratic state. She wasn't thought to be vulnerable 2 months ago. Now you have Scott Brown, former senator from Massachusetts, looking at it. You have John Sununu Jr., who was the former senator who she beat, looking at it seriously. You have a lot of ad dollars going in there against Obamacare. There are vulnerabilities, not just in these red states, Gretchen, but even in states like Minnesota, Michigan, where Republicans are beginning to outnumber and out-organize Democratic candidates.
I just don't know how Democrats answer that question. If a constituent, Bernard, asks them, did you vote for Obamacare? And they say yes. So how do you get away from it?
Here's the thing. It's February. The election is in November. There's a ton of runway till then. I think this Obamacare issue is going to be the saw that's sort of cut again and again and again.
Okay.
It's going to wear out.
Let's see.
It's absolutely going to wear out.
Let's see what happens coming up when the election happens. Guys, thanks so much. Fox News Alert right now, a push to extend jobless benefits, failing in the Senate with a vote of 58-40. Republicans blocking the latest effort from Democrats. Remember, we did this right at the top of the show. They were going to vote. It did not pass. The bill would restore benefits to 1.7 million Americans. Okay, guys, since you're sitting right here, what do you make of this, Tony? Republicans saying no to this. A lot of people struggling out there. They can't find a job. But Republicans not voting to extend unemployment benefits.
Because that's not a solution to anything, Gretchen. And if you believe the president's own narrative that the economy is recovering, at some point we have to scale back these type of programs that were necessary when clearly we had the collapse of the economy in 2009. But at some point even disincentivize growth of jobs. And that's what's happening. We're seeing people on unemployment longer, not able to re-enter the workforce. This is having an adverse effect on their becoming more productive in society.
I actually think a far more important bill to get through Congress and get to the president's desk for signature this year is a raise in the minimum wage. That will do wonders to contribute to the economy.
How? The minimum wage affects 3 million people.
So
of
why
which
not
the majority,
raise it, Tony?
Of which the
Those 3
majority
million
are
people,
first-time young workers who are the most hurt if the minimum wage is raised, and then
so
therefore
if you're
jobs are
arguing the
lost.
fact that it doesn't affect that many people, it's not going to cost that much, then why not
Then how
do
is
it?
it gonna
Because
make
if you're
a
one of those
major
3 million
impact on the
people, if you're
economy?
one of those 3 million people, I'm telling you that increase in the minimum wage means an awful lot.
All right, guys, now I really do have to wrap it up. Thank you again.
Thanks, Gretchen.